Hey everybody, welcome to another installment of exploring the companions across all the formats. I've played a bunch of Legacy Leagues, I have a Pioneer League posted, check it all out. Today we're playing Modern. This is my first Modern League with companions, and I am playing Gyruda Doom of Depths. So, if you haven't seen this deck yet, the way it works is that you cast Gyruda and then you win. It with a little bit of additional detail. So Gyruda, for it to be your companion and cast it once from outside the game, your whole deck has to have even mana costs, and all these cards do. And when Gyruda enters the battlefield, each player puts the top 4 cards of their library into their graveyard. Put a creature card with an even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield under your control. So, you cast Gyruda, you mill 4. And if you hit a clone, you clone Gyruda, and then you do it again. If you mill Restoration Angel, you blink Gyruda, and you do it again. Eventually, you'll mill a Spark Double. Spark Double is a clone, but it makes a non-legendary copy. So now you have a 6/6 and a 7/7, because Spark Double comes in with a +1/+1. So you have a 6/6 and a non-legendary 7/7. Then you can start copying your non-legendary Gyruda with additional clones, gaining a 6/6 each time. If you don't find a Spark Double right away, but you do find a Restoration Angel, you can use the clones to copy Restoration Angel and then blink the original Gyruda, and you add a 3/4 flyer to the board every time you do that. And eventually you'll find a Spark Double, which can become a 7/7, then you start adding 6/6s to the board. And the way you win after that is you either hit Dragonlord Kolaghan and attack for 1 billion, or you just deck your opponent, because they're also milling 4 each time, and they're going to have the first draw step after all this happens. So that's the deck. Everything in the deck is built to either ramp mana or be part of the combo. So ramp, 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 lands, including 4 Gemstone Cavern for max ramp, and then everything else in the deck is a clone or Dragonlord Kolaghan. Out of the sideboard, there's just ways to stop people from stopping you. So Leyline of Sanctity against discard decks, Pact of Negation against counterspell decks, specifically Cryptic Command. Because of Cavern of Souls, you're pretty good at resolving Gyruda and making the combo happen. What you're worried about is Cryptic tapping your team, and then they Supreme Verdict you and kill you on the next turn. So that's to let the attack actually get through. Echoing Truth and Engineered Explosives can clear out things like Grafdigger's Cage or Torpor Orb. Damnation is necessary concession to humans being real good. Like, they play a Thalia, they play a Meddling Mage, they name Gyruda, they have a clock. You might have to clear all that out with a Damnation. And Rest in Peace is a sweet double-edged technology because it slows down enemy graveyard decks. So if your opponent is on like Hardened Scales or some other Lurrus deck, or if they're on Dredge, you can slow them down with a Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace also is counter-hate for Grafdigger's Cage, because Gyruda mills 4, and then you put a creature card with even converted mana cost from among those cards onto the battlefield. It doesn't say from the graveyard. As long as Gyruda can still see the cards that it milled, you can put that card into play from any zone. So Rest in Peace in play means that you exile these 4 cards, and Grafdigger's Cage says cards can't enter the graveyard enter the battlefield from graveyards, but they can totally enter from exile. So this is a combination anti-Grafdigger's Cage and shutting down your opponents who want to use their graveyard. So that's some sweet technology. I hope it comes up in one of our games. Let's go jam this league. Alright, so we're on the draw for this league. You reveal your companion if you have one after you decide who plays first and before you see your first hand. So I will reveal my Gyruda. We'll see. Ooh, our opponent is Obosh. So the opponent's going to be doing some damage to our face, presumably. I'm going to keep this hand. It needs another land, obviously, to get this Heartless Summoning on board, but 3, 4, 5, 6. If we find the land, we're good. So I'm going to keep. We basically have 4 draw steps to find a land. Uh-oh. So Ponza is a deck that is mostly odd converted mana cost. So if we get Stone Rained right here, that could actually be a huge beating. If they wait even one turn to do that, though, we might be okay. Uh-oh, this looks bad. Okay, that doesn't matter. We have the basic swamp in hand, the one basic swamp in the deck. So we're not worried about Magus of the Moon. I'm so glad that wasn't Stone Rain, I gotta tell you. Alright, so now we're 2 turns away from Lotus Bloom. And if we draw another land and they don't destroy any of our lands, we can just Gyruda from exile with Heartless Summoning, and we don't even need the Bloom. Does this kill us? So we take 2 here to 18. Alright, and even if they Obosh next turn, we're still only taking 8. So, not too shabby. I could also just cast Spark Double and copy one of these things. I could just copy the Magus to have a blocker. So, pros and cons of that. The pros are I have a blocker. The cons are if I draw a land next turn, I guess I don't even need to draw a land. 6 mana, cast Gyruda and Spark Double, so it gives me a second hit if my first Gyruda whiffs. So I'm actually gonna just pass and not do that. Of course, if they Stone Rain me, that won't matter, but they put a bunch of mana into this Hex Drinker last turn, so we'll see where that goes. Glorybringer, 4, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so we are gonna get to go off maybe twice if we need to here. All right, here comes Lotus Bloom. Oh, we even found the cavern. Not that that matters. It's a mountain. So I'll play my mountain. And then blue, blue, blue. Colorless, colorless. I'll leave a blue floating. And now we can play Spark Double also in case this whiffs. Good thing I did that. Wow. Just full whiff. Whiff twice? Holy shit. So we're dead? I just like milled 8 cards and hit nothing? Wow. Alright, so that's pretty unlikely. And they can just cast Obosh and deal 8 to me. That sucks. Okay, that was a bad showing on the first round for the deck. Jesus. We need Frank Karsten to do the math on that one. Okay, so what are we doing now? They'll probably have some kind of hateful permanent. Engineered explosives clearing out Arbor Elves could be huge. I'm not sure if I want the Damnations. The problem is not so much whether these cards would be playable as much as what do I cut? So like I don't think I actually need Kolagon to win the game most of the time. Progenitor Mimic is the worst of the clones because it's completely uncastable. And once they're in play, or like once you're milling, it doesn't matter what they are, but casting them from your hand matters a lot. I think Sakashima is the next worst clone, because Sakashima, when it clones something, it keeps the name Sakashima and it stays legendary, no matter what you copy. So even if you copy a Spark Double to clone with Sakashima, it becomes a legendary Sakashima. You can't have 2 Sakashimas in play, no matter what they're cloning. So like that's the next worst one. It's also hard to cast. Double blue is pretty difficult to come up with in this deck. I don't think I want the Damnations. Not on the play. I might consider them on the draw. Alright, let's do this. That was so sad. We whiffed on a double combo. That's mathematics for you, though. Alright, so what does this hand do? It has a turn for Gyruda, but not through a Blood Moon. Like, this hand just caves the Blood Moon. It also caves to Stone Rain. I think I'm going to mulligan this. This is even worse. This is the same hand. Oh my god. Alright, I'll keep this one. Alright, so I'm on 4 cards. Opponent's also going pretty low over there. Alright, Gemstone's Caverns is a legend. Phantasmal Image probably is not going to be super helpful. And as much as I hate to bottom the Echoing Truth, I think I have to. Heartless Summoning represents mana. And that's just like where we are. Okay, that was a good find. So now we can do this Pented Prism for full value. That dodges Blood Moon. And they didn't have a turn 1 elf, so that means they can't Stone Rain this turn. They'll have to do it next turn if they're going to do it. They're just leveling. They're an idiot. That's fine. Alright, so Heartless Summoning. I can't even copy the Hex Drinker because Heartless Summoning gives your creatures -1/-1, and it would be a 1/0. Though I can cast this. Phyrexian mana +1 colorless. Alright, let's see what they got here. We can Gyruda if they have nothing. If they destroy one of our lands, we're going to have to rip a land to do it. Wait, that's not even true. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, they have to destroy 2 lands. We're actually fine. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so we can Gyruda and copy it with Metamorph this turn. Let's see if we just full brick twice. Can it be done? Can we be that unlucky? Stick around and find out. Alright. So I will cast my demon. Okay, so copy Gyruda. I'm actually going to keep the original. I'm worried about decking myself if I have to pass the turn with Progenitor Mimic. Alright, so Spark Double. Now we have a non-legendary copy. Metamorph copies Spark Double. We keep our 6/6 around. Alright, this will blink Gyruda. And they packed it up. Alright, it worked that time. Good job, team. Our opponent mustered the powerful resistance of leveling Hex Drinker twice. I'm glad we could beat that. We'd have to retire the deck if we didn't. So I'm going to pack up the Engineered Explosives for Damnation. I think that Collector Oof is a card that they could have against me. And if they're attacking my lands and shutting off my artifacts, that's pretty bad. And having another artifact versus another answer to a potential Oof seems pretty bad. So might shave a Prism also, out of respect for Oof. Maybe it's crazy to cut Prism against the deck that's trying to deny you mana, just like anything that makes mana should be in the deck. I normally like cutting Prism against oof decks, but maybe this one should be the exception. Alright, this hand's going nowhere fast. This one has the bloom, but nothing else. My opponent's on 5. We're also on 5. Okay, this one has Heartless Summoning, but we can't cast it. But it has a bunch of lands, so I am going to keep this and hope to find a black source. Get rid of Sakashima and Spark Double. Alright, so they started on 4. Let's see what they got. Oh, right on time, you asshole. I guess I can play the Gemstone Cavern. No, I'm going to play the Hallowed Fountain. That's in case I draw Pentad Prism. I actually want to have 2 colors of mana to put into it. Alright, let's see what horrifying 3-drop they have. Moon Magus. Yeah, that one's pretty good. Alright, I'll play this mountain. Alright, so compared to game 1, where Magus didn't matter, Magus is actually insane here. We're going to need a bloom and 3 turns. Alright, there we go. There's a bloom. Let's see if we get 3 turns. Oh no, what is it? Oh, it's right. They have Obosh. So I take 4. And then next turn I take 10. This is bad news, Bears. I need my basic. Oh no. Alright, so I'm going to need a Pentad Prism or my basic island to... Actually, it doesn't even matter. At this point, it's too late. Last turn, Pentad Prism or island would have stabilized, or at least bought me a turn, but that's not even true anymore. Yeah, we're going to come up a turn short here because we whiffed in game 1. Alright, GG's. Yeah, this deck is actually like pretty good at not whiffing, but there is a fail rate. The fail rate of 1 mil 4 is like reasonable to occur. The fail rate of 2 in a row, really sad times. Let's not let that happen again. All right, we're on the die roll. That's half the battle. We would have won that last game on the play. Let's see, what is your companion opponent? They are Obosh again. And we have another hand that doesn't accelerate. This one also doesn't accelerate. It's getting worse. I'll keep this one. So I'll bottom this, this, and this. Alright, I'll run the Cavern out there first, because I care about that one the least. Not that they can Stone Rain me on turn 1, but I do care about that one the least. That is a true statement. Alright, so we have a basic land and Heartless Summoning available now, so we are probably not gonna... I guess Magus still makes Gyruda uncastable, or a moon effect, but we're kind of resilient against Stone Rain. Hopefully it's just a Kitchen Finks. Alright, Tireless Tracker. I can beat that one. Okay, so now we're in the position where Stone Rain is actually really brutal. Like if they just put some scary threat into play this turn, it doesn't matter, but if they disrupt our mana at all, we could be in trouble. Like if they're trying to sit back and draw cards with their tracker and crunch for a bunch of damage, they're going to lose this turn. But Stone Rain, backed up by the pressure of Tireless Tracker, could be awful. Okay, so there's the terrible thing we mentioned. So now I need my basic island or a Penthead Prism to get out of this. Who decided that Ponza could be a good modern deck? I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Alright, so now if they Stone Rain me, I'm probably just dead. If they take out the basic swamp. But Penthead Prism off the top wins it. Basic Island off the top wins it. Though I think I might be dead on board if I don't find it this turn. So I go to 12, and then they attack for 6 times 2 next turn. Yeah, so I'm dead for Xaxes if I don't find it right now. Oh baby, alright. Black-red. Alright, so we have one chance at this. Off we go. Alright, Resto Angel. I picked Resto Angel over Sakashima because now my clones can actually produce board advantage without a spark double by copying the Angel. Alright, so I am going to get Progenitor Mimic copying Resto Angel this time. Sakashima. Alright, I'll take Sakashima because I can get another 6/6. And we whiffed. Alright. Let's see if this is enough material to win the game or not. All my things are smaller because of Heartless Summoning, unfortunately. What do we got? What horrifying beast is coming? Is it Glorybringer? Because that one probably just shuts the door. Alright. I don't care about Obosh. They should not attack with Tireless Tracker this turn. Unless they have Lightning Bolt to clear out one of my Gyrudas. That would be pretty good. Lightning Bolt does 6 now, because it is a source. Obosh says source, not permanent. Alright, Phyrexian Metamorph is the best draw, because I can actually cast it. Oh shit! I copied Progenitor Mimic, I'm so fucking smart. I forgot I get to pop the combo again right now, because of that. That's the first time Progenitor Mimic has been good instead of bad for me, so I'm really excited about that. Let's see if they have the Bolt. Okay, they do have the Bolt. That's fine. Oh, I should have targeted. I guess it doesn't matter who I target. Because... better lucky. Just... off we go again. I'm going to keep the one that's not an artifact, and it does not have Summoning Sickness. Though, Restoration Angel doesn't work anymore, because if I blink this, then there's no Gyruda in play to copy. So I guess I'll keep the Progenitor Mimic one for another look at the combo next turn. Okay, so now this Progenitor Mimic has to blink. I guess it doesn't have to blink, but I can blink it. So if I blink it, I can make it come back as Obosh, which hits like a 3/5, or hits like a 6/5. Or I could just leave this sitting in play as a 5/5 and try to combo again next turn, which I believe that is a better plan. Alright, so I'm gonna attack with this Restoration Angel because it's not blocking anyway. Should I figure out what do I die to? If they bolt this, attack with everything, I'm in some trouble. Yeah, this isn't blocking anyway. Like, there's no winning line where that card blocks. Oh, these Progenitor Mimics. This is the first time that I've played like a grindy game where you had to untap and like actually get Progenitor Mimic triggers. Like normally you just win. So this is really interesting that it's happening right now. Glorybringer is a complete nightmare. And Lightning Bolt is very good. Stone Rain doesn't matter anymore. Alright, they're going to get some attacks in this time, I'm sure. Yeah, at least this should get in. Oh no, they found a bolt. Shit. Alright, that's really bad. Though I'm glad they did it before combat, because that gives me information to work with. And the conclusion I've reached is that it doesn't matter. So I can't triple block this, because then I die to this. So I'm probably just going to have to like chump. If I block only Tireless Tracker, I can go to 4, and then I have 3 Angels. Yeah, that's all pretty bad. Yeah, I've definitely just been buried by this Tireless Tracker this game. I am gonna go to 4. Like, I need enough angels to actually trade off with this Obosh next turn. Though I can't cast a Gyruda even if I draw one, and I don't have any copies of them in play. So we're just a little late to cobble together the combo this game. Honestly, we were lucky to do it at all. We were drawing to a 5-outer on the turn I cast Gyruda. And we're just dead to a lightning bolt at this point. Or like anything that does damage. So Seasoned Pyromancers in their deck, Blood Moon. There's 2 Seasoned Pyromancers in their graveyard. I wonder if they see them there. Through the Breach, yikes. I wonder what they're bringing through the Breach at me. If they have Through the Breach, that might mean that I can't mill them out. Like if they have Emrakul in their deck, the Aeon's Torn, that would be pretty bad. Alright, so I get another angel here. And I draw yet another angel. Unfortunately, they're not at 8 life. I'm dead. Okay, so Echoing Truth is going to be pretty important. On the play, I don't like Damnation. I do like it on the draw. Engineered Explosives can kill a Blood Moon. I board out the worst of the clones. I'm going to keep in all the mana acceleration, like I said last round. Like normally I like cutting Pentahead Prisms against, or shaving on them against decks with oof in them. But this particular oof deck, I think you have to think about it differently. That's a mulligan. This one has Pentahead Prism, but it needs more than that. I'm not sure if this is a mulligan or not. Like 2 lands plus Prism. I'm gonna mulligan looking for a bloom. Alright, it's only getting worse. So my next mulligan will be to 4. And I definitely can't keep this hand, it has nothing, but I would have kept that last hand against a deck that didn't have Stone Rain in it. That's such a beating. Ugh. I don't think 3 cards is going to get better. So I'll keep this and hope to find a black source before I'm dead. This is a really bad spot to be in. We've played against Ponza twice in a row in the deck that wants to mulligan and protect its fragile mana. So Ponza, apparently, tough matchup for Obosh, or for Gyruda. I think basic Swamp is my best draw, though I would take any black source for this Heartless Summoning. At least get that online. So I kind of have to play this. And there's some temptation to name Illusion so I can actually cast these cards in my hand, but I'm not sure if that's a winning line. Like, I guess if they played like Tireless Tracker right now and I had named Illusion for this, that might have been a good one to copy also. But if we draw a land, it's still not too late. A land that makes blue. Alright, we're dead. We're not going to beat a Rabblemaster from this position. So, turns out that Ponza is pretty tough, and when you whiff on your combo is pretty tough. Like those were the two whiffiest matches I've played with the deck. Like the first round, the full just like 8 card whiff was one thing, but going off, passing the turn, going off again, and just like being unable to produce a winning board state twice was like pretty unlikely, but it did in fact happen. P. Muller, this is probably the Storm Wizard. I don't know if he's still playing Storm these days, but he did not reveal a companion. So I have 2 lands in Heartless Summoning. I think we can do better in the London Mulligan world. Alright, I'm gonna stop being greedy. I'm on 5. Maybe 4 could be better. This has no acceleration. Alright, I am gonna go to 4. There we go. Sheesh. Alright, so I gotta put 3 on the bottom. This one, and I guess this swamp. I mean, if he is playing Storm, Storm sometimes plays Blood Moon, but probably not in the main deck, so we should be safe there. And if this is Paul Muller, and if he is on Storm, all of the above are ifs. Sacred Foundry is generally not in Storm. Alright, seems to be some sort of prowess strategy, or burn. But it did not reveal Laris as a companion, which is interesting. Makes me wonder if they still have the Bedlam Revelers in the deck. Experimenting with the wild no companion technology in 2020. Alright, so we have multiple avenues to a turn 4 Gyruda here. It's just, if we're dead before then. Being on the play helps a lot. We'll see where that goes. Boros Charm. I love when Burn plays spells in the early turns instead of creatures. They do have the Swift Spear, but Boros Charm is so much better for me than if they had gone like Goblin Guide, or even just Eidolon. Okay, so they have to kill me or meaningfully disrupt me on their next turn. They have to deal 13. So if my Lotus Bloom arrives unmolested, that's Gyruda. If they mess with the Lotus Bloom, a land off the top still casts Gyruda. We got a lot of looks. Alright, that's 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So even another Lightning Bolt only does 11. Alright, so now it's up to Gyruda to not whiff. Maybe once we'll actually combo. Alright. Here it comes. I guess if they have Path to Exile, that could be bad. I forgot about Heartless Summoning. I just floated extra mana for no reason. Probably doesn't matter. There's Kolagon. That kind of sucks. So now I have to mill them. Hitting Kolagon first means I can't attack this turn. So I have to try to mill them out. So I want to copy the Restoration Angel for the reasons described previously. All right, now we got Spark Double going. So if we do have to pass the turn and we don't mill them out, they're going to have to burn us because these Swift Spears are not getting through. But I would definitely much rather just burn them, or mill them. Another Spark Double. Almost there, we just need one more. I'll keep this one. Alright, we milled them. Alright, so I guess if their hand is Bolt Bolt, we could still lose. I guess we just gotta hope that doesn't happen. Or just 2 instant speed burn spells, I guess, like Boros Charm Bolt also does it. This fetch land can't get anything, though. Alright. Ships in the night. We were just faster. Alright, Leyline of Sanctity. Seems pretty good here. I'm not sure what kind of disruption they're going to have for me. I don't think I need the Kolagon. I'm not even sure if the deck needs the Kolagon, honestly. Pentad Prism can be kind of dangerous. They might be bringing in Smash to Smithereens. I probably would if I had it. Burn is a deck where we don't have to combo that hard, I guess. Like even putting like 2 6/6s into play and passing the turn, it will put them on like burn me out or lose, because that'll be better than any of the creatures they have. Not that I want to count on that. Like I don't want to, like, thinning out on these clones this hard sucks, but I'm not sure what else to cut. Because they might have Stony Silence, so I can cut in Engineered Explosives. Alright, this hand is completely bonkers, so I'm going to keep it. Snap keep. Gemstone Cavern. Pitching Spark Double. So I can Pentad Prism for 2, or I could Heartless Summoning. I guess Heartless Summoning doesn't play into Smash, and they represent the same amount of mana. And I can't get Blood Moon on turn 2. I don't think Burn even plays Blood Moon, but in case they do, this at least respects it a little bit. so I think that this turn. So let's see my draw first. It's another Gyruda. Okay, so the options are I could play Spark Double copying Monastery Swiftspear, and it would be a 1/2 after the Heartless Summoning negates the +1 counter. Or I could play this Darkslick Shores, play Pentad Prism, and then next turn cast Gyruda with Spark Double backup. So, but 3 Swiftspears, so if their hand is just like bolt, what happens? So we take 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and I lose to my shock land. But I guess I don't have to shock if I prism. So and if their hand is Path to Exile, I don't think I can win no matter what. I could Pentad Prism for 2. And then cast the Spark Double, leaving Pentad Prism at 1. I can still Gyruda, and I've ramped a little bit. I think I like that. This did just turn on Smash to Smithereens, unfortunately. Oh no! I noticed 1 second too late that was only creatures you control. Lesson learned. Yeah, keeping track of which clones do what. Yeah, so Spark Double is the only clone that only copies your stuff. All the other clones can copy anything, but it makes sense because it comes in like bigger and better. It would make sense that this is like friendly magic. Okay, so I think I still am going to get to combo here because I have the Pentad Prism on 1. Unless they have like Mishra's Bauble or another prowess trigger. This is only going to be a super punish if I draw an untapped Painless Land and whiff on Gyruda. Alright, let's go. Copy this, keep the one that won't die if it's targeted. Copy this, keep the one that doesn't die to Smash to Smithereens. Alright, got a Spark Double. Starting to do it. Alright, now their creatures are blocked. Resto Angel, Blink Gyruda, the original. And there's no Colligun, so I have to deck them. Spark Double. Progenitor Mimic. We just need one more. Alright, we did it. I guess if their last card in hand is Bolt, we're dead. Alright, don't have an instant. Alright, we did it. That was close. Again, ships in the night. Alright, we're on the play. I feel like I recognize this username, Avocado Toast. Maybe just from breakfast, but maybe because they do well. Oh yeah, we got a keeper here. Double Balloon plus Pentad Prism. And they're a Luris deck. Jerry Thompson posted this crazy Luris list. It was blue-black control, and the only win conditions in the deck were 3 Snapcaster Mage and Luris. So I don't think the Gyruda deck can ever beat that deck, for what it's worth. But hopefully my opponent's just on burn or something. Alright, Inquisition. I'm going to lose Pentad Prism here, but the damage is done. 2 Lotus Blooms are on suspend. Could be Shadow, I guess. Shadow is pretty good at having cheap permanents and winning the game anyway. They're going to need multiple points of interaction, though, because they have 2 Lotus Blooms. Termagurf. Ermagerd. Alright, drawing the land means I only need one of them. I'm not dead to Abrupt Decay anymore. I can copy Tarmogoyf. And that at least provides a blocker if I need more turns. Because with the 2 Lotus Blooms, I can Gyruda plus Phantasmal Image copying Gyruda. Of course, if they have Assassin's Trophy and just kill Gyruda, things could get ugly. Another one. Oh, here it is. Do they have a removal spell? They did not. And we got the Spark Double on the first hit, so we should be off to the races from here. That's a really early Dragon Lord Kolagon. Alright, yeah, they just backed it up. So Kolagon might have been enough there. So 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, like an early Kolagon with like 2 6/6s in play might be good enough most of the time. Which is like kind of funny. Alright, so Leyline of Sanctity. That's this here discard deck. Though I'm not sure if I care as much about discard as I do against like burn. Maybe I'm gonna play around with this. So Rest in Peace makes Tarmogoyf pretty bad. If they are, it makes Luris pretty bad. I'm sure they have Mishra's Bauble in their deck. That they're not going to be able to loop that. They probably have Traverse the Open Wall. That's what I'm thinking of. They probably have that. This makes it worse. So, alright, this is an oof deck that I'm okay shaving Pentad Prism against. I also don't think I need Kolagon here. Just a common theme. I'm cool with what we've got going on here. I'm going to try to race again before I start bringing in Damnation. I think having a more consistent combo is going to be worth more than casting Damnation in this matchup. Let's see how it goes. On the draw, let's see what we're working with. So this hand is kind of interesting. It has Prism, Caverns, and Lotus Bloom. It has a second Gyruda, like actual Gyruda, in case the first one is killed. Though, there's no second land. With a second land, this is just like a slam, do a dance. Insane keep. I think it might be a keep anyway. I guess what happens if we get Inquisition of Kozilek is the question. If they strip this Lotus Bloom, then we are pretty anemic. And this is a deck with discard spells in it, as we know. But that's also a reason not to chase mulligans super low. They kept 7. I am going to keep this because I think that the having Pented Prism and Lotus Bloom, I need to draw the land, obviously, but getting Lotus Bloom discarded here. If we find a land for Prism, maybe. The problem is that like this was just in trouble to a discard spell no matter what. Just need a little help. Alright, didn't find the help there. So we'll see how this goes. I'm learning what's in the range of a keepable hand and what isn't. Same as everyone else here. So we know they can't Blood Moon us because they have Luris. So that's good. Ooze doesn't matter. I mean, it's a clock, but that's all that it matters. Ugh. Alright, so I think if we find a colored mana source this turn, it might not be too late. But it's starting to get late very quickly. Yikes. Yeah, so here's the thing about playing fragile but powerful combo decks. Sometimes your hand just doesn't function to a single piece of disruption. Now they got the Kroxa cannon going, so they can cast Kroxa every turn. Just whittle my hand down to nothing. Alright, so assuming I draw a land next turn, I'm taking 4, 5, 6, 7. Taking 7 twice, yeah, it's too late. Alright, should have mulligan. Lesson learned. Okay, I think maybe I do want Kolaghan in this particular matchup. Because just like getting in for 11 or 12 is probably going to win. Alright, let's do this. Alright, we're on the play. Let's see if we can make it count. Okay, so we got a hand that it has Heartless Summoning, a bunch of clones, and some mana. I'm actually going to keep this. Heartless Summoning is pretty solid. If they discard the Heartless Summoning, which is definitely the target if they have a discard spell, then I have like a pretty reasonable curve of clones. Like I can do something on 2, 3, and 4 mana and try to match their creatures, and that can at least buy time if it doesn't win the game outright. So compare that to taking mulligans. So if I the only card that's better to mulligan to there than what I was doing is Lotus Bloom. And Lotus Bloom can get Abrupt Decayed or Nature's Claimed just before in my upkeep before I can use it for mana. So by playing around discard spells, we're playing into permanent-based removal, and none of it feels good. Just playing against discard is really rough. Maybe I should have the ley lines in the deck. Now that I've seen how rough discard is face-to-face, I talked about a little bit during sideboarding how, like, I'm not sure if it's worth the slots, we can just jam, but, like, definitely it's worth the slots. I'm now convinced. Alright, I can discard Spark Double. Alright, so now we're one land, or mana source, I should say. A Penthead Prism would jump us up a turn. But we're a land away from Gyruda. And if they play a creature, we can copy it. We'll see how this slow and steady, grindy version of this deck plays out here. Kroxa is 2 cards and 2 mana away from coming back. Alright, now 1 card and 2 mana. Kroxa is definitely scary, no doubt about it. Strip my Metamorph. Grafdigger's Cage. Okay, that sucks. Now we're going to need an Echoing Truth. I did bring those in. Or Rest in Peace. Rest in Peace does it too, but we would need white mana. Oh, I guess that turns off the Kroxa. That's actually pretty sweet. I'm going to name Angel for this, because I want them to respect the possibility of Restoration Angel. I'm really glad we're not going to get Kroxa out of this game, though. That's cool. This also turns off Lyris. Alright, there's Lyris. You have a 3/2 lifelink. Ooh. And so do I. Oh, you're right. I can't, because of the cage, I can't cast the Heartless Summoning out of the bin anyway. Alright, now we both have 3/2 lifelinks. Guess they could, like, Kolaghan's Command their own Grafdigger's Cage and then start firing Crocs out of the graveyard. Like, if they have... Oh, they can't play Kolaghan's Command. Oh no, each permanent. Yes, they can play Kolaghan's Command. So, I guess now that they've spent... Oh, Jesus. That was, in fact, the play. Yikes. I think if I were them... No, I'm lying. I was about to say I would have destroyed my own cage, but I'm absolutely lying. Alright, so I'm not going to pay 2 life here. Now I have 6 mana, so if I find the Echoing Truth or Rest in Peace, I can get through this Grafdigger's Cage. We are taking the beats from this Lyris in the meantime, though. I guess, like, the question is, when do I just cast a 6/6? And I think the answer is not yet. Alright, that doesn't matter. It draws them a card. I would really like to draw Rest in Peace, please. Now I would really, really like to draw Rest in Peace. Dark Slick Shores. Alright, so 5, 6, 7, 8. If I play this, now I have 8 mana. This gives me... I'm dead to Lightning Bolt, but this gives me 1 turn to draw Echoing Truth or the other thing, Rest in Peace, and then win all in 1 turn. So let's do that, come on. Alright. And we're Deadzos. We can't bring anything back from Grafdigger's Cage, and we're just dead on board to this other stuff. So I think the sideboard needs more anti-hate cards. Having 4 answers to Grafdigger's Cage doesn't feel like enough when your deck just has to combo. Like, I'm not really sure if these pact of negations are necessary. Like, I might just want 4 Echoing Truth. Or some similar effect. Echoing Truth is probably the best one, but yeah, ways to clear out Grafdigger's Cage, or just go up to a total of like 6 Rest in Peace plus Echoing Truth in some combination. This Cage really is the only hate piece that matters. And our sideboard, like, you can't Pact of Negation a Grafdigger's Cage, because then you just die to your Pact trigger. Yeah, I'm gonna Kajigger with this sideboard a bit before I play this deck again, for sure. Alright, on the play again. All in. I don't think you can mulligan hands like this. And we just have to hope they're not a Remand deck. No counter spells, no Abrupt Decays, please. Yeah, if they're just like Burn, this is probably fine. Sand's probably great against Ponza, it doesn't care about Stone Rain. But they're not Ponza, they would have revealed Obosh. Sand's really good against discard spells. Yeah, this definitely feels a little scary. What their deck does is going to determine how good this hand is. Like, there are decks in Modern that can't beat this, and there are decks in Modern that can't lose to this. Seachrome Coast and Sleight of Hand. Oh, are they ad nauseum? So we're just racing? Ad nauseum's kind of crazy because they could Pact of Negation Gyruda and then untap and cast whatever that thing is, Angel's Grace. And then we just don't have a play anymore. They did not have a Lotus Bloom of their own, so we don't have to worry about that. This is probably a Pentad Prism, would be my guess. Yes, okay. So basically what we gotta do here is draw a land. Alright, we did draw a land. A Cavern would have been better, of course. But this does at least advance us a little bit. Like, if they counter or bounce one of the Lotus Blooms, we still get to Gyruda. And if Gyruda whiffs, we can Phyrexian Metamorph with the second bloom. Guess we'll see. Oh, do they just have it? They're just gonna Spirit Guide ad nauseum. Oh, spoils. What do they name? Thassa's Oracle? Or are they holding Thassa's Oracle and they name some card that's not in their deck? They have... Oh, there's 3 cards in their hand, 0 cards in there. Oh, they must have mulliganed that to the bottom. That's so fucked up. They knew Thassa's Oracle was on the bottom of the deck because they mulliganed Thassa's Oracle to the bottom of the deck. Wow. Alright. So because they were able to take exactly that line, we lost. That's crazy. But I guess that's modern. I'm over here with a Gyruda deck. I don't get to complain about people cheesing me. So I think this matchup is just a race, and I think we're faster than them, except in that exact nut draw situation. We can bring in Echoing Truths to try to punish Phyrexian on life. I'm going deep in the tank trying to remember the name of all these cards. This is super awkward knowing that they have Thassa's Oracle, because we could like combo off, mill them out, and then they just like Angel's Grace in their upkeep, cast Thassa's Oracle, and win. So I think I need the Kolagon so I can threaten a lethal attack, so they would need 2 Angel's Graces for that plan to work. But I guess if I get the Kolagon, then I haven't decked them. Alright, I'm off Kolagon. Okay, I don't really think anything else matters here. It turns out we were playing against a deck where the double Lotus Bloom, yeah, this is a keep, was good. They just did us one better. Alright, so I'm going to hide the Cavern until the last possible turn. Like, I'm going to use the Cavern to cast Gyruda on the last turn. I don't want them to think they can hide behind Pact of Negation. Like, if they sculpt a hand to, like, Pact, then Angel's Grace to dodge, like, I want to have the Cavern ready and show it to them only on the turn I need to. So hopefully I find a land in my next 2 draw steps. Alright, the race is on. So if I find a land in my next 2 draw steps, I can make all my land drops and sneak the Cavern in. But here I might have to, if I don't draw a land next turn, I might have to just play it out, show them that it's there, and then they'll be able to adjust their plan accordingly. This is seriously like Ships in the Night, except they do have cards that interact and we don't. Right, they went 1 top, 1 bottom with their Serum Visions. So, pros and cons. I guess I'll just pass. Like, if I have the Lotus Bloom mana... no, I should play this, because if they, like, bounce or destroy my Lotus Bloom in some way, then I would still want to be able to have be able to draw a land and cast Gyruda. So on life doesn't matter if we deck them. Right, this does not look like it's on life. Oh, it is on life, okay. Alright, doesn't matter if we deck them. And because of Heartless Summoning, we're going to have 2 looks at the combo. Alright, so shoot your shot, King, he said. Alright, blue, blue, blue. Black, colorless. I'm going to use the demon mana, the colorless, and leave blue floating. Progenitor Mimic, copy. I'm going to keep the original. Metamorph. Oh, I milled their Thassa's Oracle. So keeping the original with the Metamorph means that I can blink now. If I had blinked the Progenitor Mimic, it would have come back as Restoration Angel instead of Gyruda. Skadoosh. Second round. Let's go. Alright, Resto Angel. Copy the Spark Double. I'll get Progenitor Mimic and copy Resto. I am worried about decking myself. I'm not sure how reasonable that is, but decking myself with Progenitor Mimic is pretty whack. Sakashima. Spark Double. Spark Double. So I have 6 cards left in my deck. They have 5. So what's the smart play here? I guess the smart play is to look at their graveyard and figure out what we gotta do. So Grace 1, 2, 3, 4. All their Graces are gone. Their Ad Nauseam, their Thassa's Oracle are all gone. So I could get Spark Double, copy Resto, target this, yes. Alright, so all their Angel's Graces are in the graveyard. So I do want to mill them out. Oh, I'll just take Thassa's Oracle. GG. They have multiple Thassa's Oracles. So now I just win. That was sweet. Stealing Thassa's Oracle with Gyruda is nice. Okay, so maybe... No, the Unlife damage is so unreliable as a way to kill them. So I'm not interested in that. I think this is the configuration that I want to play. It's like, I could bring in packs for some like magical world where I packed their Thassa's Oracle and then pay. Like, if my blooms are coming off or like the game goes a little grindy. I don't think I want to do that though. Alright, last round. All the money. We're on the draw against one of the few decks that can keep up with us on raw speed. I am going to keep this hand. It's got multiple points of acceleration in it. It's got a cavern also. Right, they've got multiple Lotus Blooms. The race is on. Okay, so next turn I cast Prism. The turn after that I cast Summoning. Ooh, they're they're a turn ahead here. These double blooms are brutal. Alright, found one of my own right on time. Alright, so here we are. My Echoing Truth could bounce their blooms, but that doesn't matter if they have Grace. It does matter if they have On Life. So I'm one short on mana here, no matter how you slice it. So I could just put this Echoing Truth on the stack and pray. I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't even need to develop mana because this is going to work or it's not, basically. Alright, we will see right now if I have a chance. I guess if I bounce the first one, no, that doesn't matter, because they can just float mana, cast Grace, this resolves then they ad nauseam. Alright, let's hope this works. And if they have any instant, they're fine. They need to have like literally On Life and nothing else. Yeah, there it is. Alright. Yep. Yeah, so there's Oracle, they can cast it. That's the game. Alright. So we got beat by Ponza twice and by Ad Nauseam. And one of the Ponzas was a full unlikely bricking. But yeah, I was actually impressed by how well the format kept up with what I was doing, because I played one league with this deck before I recorded this video, and it felt like nobody could keep up with what I was doing. I went 4-1, and my loss was to a punt. I just missequenced something. So, but definitely just these Pact of Negation should be anything else. I should have brought in the ley lines against the discard deck. So figuring out the sideboard configuration and how to actually do the sideboarding, like what the minimum number of safe clones is, do we even need this Kolagon in the deck? Those are what I'm thinking about moving forward. Anyway, so thanks for checking it out. I may play this deck again. It seems like it's on the correct power level for Modern. Make sure to hit the subscribe button if you had fun. Follow me on Twitter at Bosch and Roll. Let's talk about Magic anytime. If you like written content, articles, sideboard guides, what I'd play kind of stuff, I have a Patreon you can check out. It's Bosch and Roll on Patreon. As always, thanks for watching and see you next time.